What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I'm recording this before Tuesday, but happy Tuesday. What's your favorite day of the week? If you say Friday, or if your least favorite day is Monday, that means you gotta do bend, and that means you gotta listen to your feelings because what you're doing is not in line with your soul and how you really feel. So we're jumping in. Yeah. Okay. First of all, some fun news. Very fun news. There's a lot here. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I don't know why you would have seen because I just posted it on one story one time. But I had somebody help me put together a guide. It's like 50 pages. It's a digital guide for bend stuff and emotions. So it's basically an emotion regulation guide. And I did this first one for parents who are actively parenting. It really can be used for anybody, honestly, because I do like the reparenting aspect of yourself. I like that concept. And so even if you don't have kids or your kids are grown or whatever, like it would totally help you in it. So it's 50 pages. It's very aesthetic. And the link is in my bio. It's $22 and you buy it. It goes right to your email address. You download it. And the great thing about this is like the cool part about it, is that on every single page, there's links to my relevant video bend videos. So if you found me because you saw a TikTok video of mine on bend and parenting, that video will probably be linked in the guide where you can read the concept on the page and then click the link to the relevant video. And the guide doesn't go anywhere. It's not like a, what am I saying? It's not a page on the internet, that you need internet for. It's just a digital guide, PDFs kind of thing with links. So that's very exciting. We worked hard on it. I mean, I just think it's really helpful for everything to be in one place. Obviously, if you listen to my stuff, you're going to get this eventually. I never want to create something like so exclusive and mysterious that kind of manipulates you into buying it. I mean, everything in the guide I've talked about on all my platforms. Multiple times in multiple different ways. And this is just having it all in one place. So it's good if you aren't on social media a lot. It's good if you forget certain parts of the concept. There's some worksheets in there, kind of places where you can write down things. And it's good if you want to print something off too. I don't know how far in the future it will be where I have an online place where like a website or something where everything is in one place. I don't know. That's like my dream world. The best thing I can do organization wise is TikTok playlists where you can like make a video and then you add it to a playlist. But even then, I've had people say that they can't find my playlist. So I don't know what the hell that's about. So you guys, putting all this educational content out there, wanting it to be comprehensive, easy to access. I care so much about social media because people are already using it. Like, I don't really want to create something that's separate from what you're already using. That's why I love social media. The hard part is just organizing it. And so I'm working on that. Not to put that on you guys. I'm just wanting to validate if you have any frustrations about it, but I hope to have create a solution, which is the guide. So that's the Ben guide. Again, you can get it at the link in my bio. It's the first thing that'll come up, and it's $22. And yeah, so there's that. There's also some very exciting news. I'm sharing this as an exciting thing, and just this podcast to me is personal, and I can be personal on here. So for me, career wise, it's very exciting. And I don't even want to say career wise because who cares? But I just mean next step wise, I think it's so cool to create something and grow something and watch it evolve. And the fun part about this for me posting online, me doing this podcast is like the unknown of it all. Like, where is this going? What is this going to turn into? I don't know. But it's fun when you get one piece of you get the next step. So this podcast is going to kind of morph into a show where we have people kind of like call in. it's not going to really be calling in. They're going to basically fill out a form with their situation. I'm going to reach out to them. We're going to Zoom. You won't see their face or their name if they don't want to. Like, I am just going to be recorded visually. So you're only going to see me the whole time. But it's going to be via Zoom it's irrelevant to you. But basically, they're going to be telling me their situation and asking questions. And what we're going to do with that, which is a little different, is teach you something from it. Like, y'all know I do a lot of whiteboard stuff where I talk about different concepts. And I really want to make this an educational thing while also using people's real life stories and examples. So that's what we're gonna do. And you guys, the name, that's funny I'm saying all of this because none of this has happened yet. But the name is gonna be Class with Kate. How good is that? Yes. Class with Kate, where I take you to school on all things restoring relationships. Yay! How good is that? That like language has been on my soul for a while. Like, when you hear something, you just like know it's right. You know it's true. That's just it. It's just this feeling. It's so hard to describe. It's because I don't know, it feels like things clicking into place. That's what this is for me. And so it's been like in non-language terms in my body for I feel like a couple years now, and it's just been about timing and opportunity and that stuff. So that's going to be coming out soon, which is very, very exciting. I think it will be both entertaining and educational, and that's what I've always wanted to do is like well, what first comes to mind when I say that is Fox News. It's not going to be Fox News. I don't mean that. I just mean the entertaining concept, I hope. Entertaining, not in a way that's like exploitative of the person sharing. I don't mean that at all. I just mean you guys, when people are talking to me about estrangement and stuff, you just like can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. And so I just mean the truth of situations being something to watch, pay attention to, and learn from. And that's what I hope it will be to one, relate to somebody, one, have compassion for somebody, and God, like I'm not alone in this. And two, to learn something that you can apply to your own life. So, Class with Kate is going to be coming soon. I don't know when it'll be, but it's going to be available in particular, obviously, because there will be a whiteboard aspect. Sometimes I think depending on the situation, but so you can find this on YouTube. But so subscribe to me there if you want to get like updates for when this first comes out. Obviously, I'm gonna announce it in some way, but um it's so funny thinking about like promoting things. I'm at the point in my online journey too where just doing new things and it's bringing up stuff for me like, oh, am I sounding salesy? Oh, am I sounding like I'm selling something? And I think what will be reassuring for everybody is just that I'm very much an inside out creator. I'm an inside out person in general. And so anything I'm selling or promoting is something I'm truly excited about. It's not something inauthentic. I mean, it might be at some point. I don't know. If I get like $1 million sponsorship, that's for like depends. I'll do it, you know? So I don't know. I don't it's the ethics of everything is very interesting when it comes to this stuff. But ultimately, I'm proud of what I'm doing and I'm not going to do anything I'm not proud of or that benefits people. So, Class with Kate coming soon. Let's see what else. The gray area. What are we talking about today? You know what we're going to talk about today is the hate list. The hate list. I posted some videos this past week about the hate list. This is also in my bend guide, by the way. My bend guide is what's in there? Self-compassion, bend, hate list, and emotional forecasting. Those are kind of my three or four, well, tapping's in there too. So it's five tools of like emotion regulation and reparenting yourself essentially. And I think when you can reparent yourself, you can parent no fucking problem. Like genuinely, no problem. Obviously not to say without problems. I just mean you're going to be so confident that you can handle it and that you are your own like North Star. Sure, you might need other resources sometimes. You might need therapy sometimes, you know, but that's the point, is that you're meeting your own needs and you're not out of control. You're not on autopilot. Like you're in control of your life and you're aligned with your inner world. The outside reflects the inside. The inside reflects the outside. And it's this relationship of change, but of security, growth, love, all that stuff. So the hate list, that's part of emotionally regulating. And honestly, I people have so many questions about this. And at the same time, people are so refreshed by the concept. But I think the hate list is such a great place to start. If you don't know where to go, like start with your emotions. Like if you genuinely you're doing things you don't like, you have behaviors that you don't like. You binge eat, you drink too much, you throw up, you are defensive. I mean, any behavior that is not working for you interpersonally or relationally. So inside and outside. And as we all know, you might be functioning very well, that you are the only one that knows about this stuff. And you see online, regulate your emotions. Your emotions are the key to everything. I mean, I say that stuff, but that's reflected in a lot of areas online. And when, then comparison is the thief of joy. You see other people being so highly functional, and you're like, how are they doing this? And so it's like, where do I even start with my emotions? Where do I even start with these behaviors? Where do I even, like, I don't even know. How do I name my emotions, my needs? What the hell are you talking about? So basically, when you don't know the E and D of bend, a hate list is where you need to start. We've also heard what's going to prevent you from doing a hate list is gratitude. And gratitude is the highest frequency you can have. And gratitude is an abundance mindset. And once you're grateful about everything, everything will come to you. We hear that all the time, all the time. And I hate it. Right? That fits. So here's the deal. If you're very highly functional, if you are, you have the relationship, you have the family, like basically you have everything in the first dimension. Like your first level of needs are met. You have a house, you have, a job, you have, kids. Like you basically your survival needs, the bare minimum. You have shelter, you have food, you have, a support system even. Like those are kind of step one of health. Emotional health, mental health, relational health. It's just like things being intact, things existing at all. Even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, like your needs are met. Maybe not in a reliable way, but everything's intact. Um, so that's the first level of things. The one dimension is set. But you still have these things are coming out sideways. You yell sometimes. You still binge and purge. Like again, you're taking too many Adderall. You rely on your sleep aid too much. Like you're doing things that just don't feel good to you, that don't feel long term. That are like, I know I'm coping with things in this way, but I don't know what to do. What you need to understand first, going back, first of all, self compassion. Making a hate list is self compassionate, by the way. But to add context to this, you're not alone. So many people come to therapy and they're like, I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong. I don't, everything on paper is there. So I just want to say this reflects in different ways. And especially in the therapy space, it's not a reason not to go to therapy. And it's not a reason not to go to therapy and try again if you haven't benefited in the past or like gotten what you wanted out of it. It's not a reason not to do it again. But the thing is that so self-compassion is saying like there are things I am unhappy with even though I have all this stuff. There are things I hate, even though I have all of this stuff. And that might not be your situation. Like you might not have that stuff too. I want to acknowledge that too. But the thing is like being honest. So many people, I see this, I mean, TV shows, marriage, like people's lives implode when they are not honest about what they feel about things. Their lives implode because what happens is they're married, say they're married or happily married, right? And or they think they are. Because they've got everything. And they're small issues, they don't seem like big issues. This is not I don't think it's people's fault. So much of this is subconscious. But I just want to say, if you're listening to this, like it's going to take some going inward and being like, what are these little things that bother me? When do things blow up? So, okay, I'm telling you to do different things here. What I mean to say is, first of all, if you're listening to this and if you're even considering that there are some gaps here, that's self-compassion. Okay. That's taking care of yourself. It's just even like thinking about it, even showing up here. Okay. But the second thing to do, I think, my opinion, once you're aware of that, is to make a hate list. Whatever you think your religion says about it, whatever you think your friends will say about it, whatever you in your head are even saying about it, write it down. Go in your phone. A hate list is things that you hate. Go in the notes app of your phone, write down, journal, whatever. And the reason I call it a list is because what's happening, if everything is good around you or everything's intact around you, is you're really scared to change it. You're really scared for that to change. And so you keep ignoring and ignoring. And that's fine. That's not bad. Even write that down. Like I'm scared to even hate anything because I am scared to lose it. You know what's funny? So people so much when we're talking about this at first, when they're like really coming to around to things that they don't like about themselves or other people, they'll be like, I don't know how to say XYZ. I don't know how to say that I'm really lonely. And I'm like, that's a great thing to say. Like you just actually did it. You just actually did it. And so writing down even what you hate about a hate list, like that's fine. What we need to do is start allowing things that to exist that you might judge about yourself. Like, I'm trying to think of an example from the other day. Oh, okay. Do y'all know Aisha Curry, Steph Curry, the basketball player, his wife? His wife went on Alex Cooper's podcast, Call Her Daddy, and she talked about how it's like her life pretty much. I think she's in her mid 30s. She has 4 kids. I don't think she has an active like career. She talked about how unhappy it is, or like she appeared to a lot of people to be ungrateful or unappreciative, or like, this is why you don't get married. Like, poor Steph, she's hating on Steph. And it's like, I watched kind of the backlash online about it. And I was like, this is why people are scared to say what they fucking feel because there's all these parts, all these people that come in and have their 2 cents about how wrong it is, how bad they are for feeling this way. And if you struggle to make a hate list, those voices in your head came from real places and real experiences. You were not born this way. Kids, there are adults and kids that are walking around you in the world that do not have those voices in their head only because they were not exposed to them. That's the reason they were not exposed to them. And if it wasn't someone else, it was a protective mechanism in their brain protecting them from like intrapsychic collapse, basically. So, say you had a dad that was like mad or disappointed in you when you got bad grades. He didn't outright say, you're a bad kid or like you're not enough or like this, this isn't good enough. He maybe didn't outright say that. But as a kid, if you, your number one thing, your only goal in your life at that point is to maintain the relationship with your primary caregivers. That's your only thing. And if your dad didn't give you reassurance, if he gave mixed messages about it. Like, hey, no, I'm not mad at you, but then I'm not going to talk to you for a couple hours. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was something that you took away from that interaction that was like, oh, me failing or me something isn't safe. Like, so you develop a self-protective mechanism in your head when you're taking tests. You know, you develop an anxiety, and your anxiety is there to say, hey, 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 get it together. We have to maintain this relationship. That's your body's language. Emotions are your body's love language. They're there to help you and support you. So, anyway, all these reasons that are hard for you to do a hate list are reasons to love and appreciate your body because they have protected you and helped you survive. So that's kind of acknowledging the obstacles of a hate list. But so that's number one is kind of doing it, thinking about it, and then identifying what's stopping me from really fucking going there. Because Aisha Curry, here's the deal. She is valid. Like it's valid. Um, this was the thing. So this is what prevents people from doing a hate list in real life with their partner is their partner's judgment. Y'all know I've been doing a lot of defensiveness on my page and working on yourself if you're in a relationship with someone's defensive. And I do think a question for yourself is like, am I kind of secretly judging this person in general where there's an energy on me? So, like, someone was messaging me the other day and they were saying how she's a stay-at-home wife and her husband is he provides for everybody in the family. And she was telling me that he resents being a full-time provider. Like he resents the kind of burden of that. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. Like that's a valid emotional experience. Like what prevents you from making space for that without taking it on? And I think that's what people don't know how to do is like listen from a detached but caring like point of view where if someone's saying that like god I just like hate this job, I hate having to provide for everybody and be it's like such a burden to me. If you're a stay-at-home parent, if you're married in general and your partner's having an emotional experience that pertains to the home or you even, okay, like it has to be able to exist. And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. It's sad. It's hard. It is a burden. It like especially well, but that's not all of it, right? That's not all of it. Like a lot of times it happens because people don't like their job or they're not making enough or they don't even feel like they can explore other interests because you know what I'm saying? Like there's always more to explore there. But this is somebody to me that's saying their hate list. And what's your response to it? Because a lot of times there's immediate guilt in the stay at home partner where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to fix that. Like, I feel guilty for the privilege of being able to stay at home. Like, what's your cognitive, how are you framing this in your mind? Like, that this person is gifting me this as opposed to it being a joint decision. Did things just kind of happen where that became the norm and there weren't conversations or what? Like there's always a context here. And that's why I talk about defensiveness in this way online because there's always a story. Like, and not to say yours is invalid. If you're hearing it that way, that's an enmeshed point of view where it's one or the other. Like, oh, he's excused because of this and this. And it's like, no, he still has every responsibility to talk to you about it, to talk to you about his emotions, and to problem solve about it as if you are a couple and like partnership. That's certainly his responsibility. And, and, what part of the dynamic are you reinforcing this? Like, so because he hates this, that makes me scared that he's going to get away and I'm going to have to do some work or something that I don't want to do. Like, can it all exist where it's not a fight? Like, it may be emotionally charged, but it's not a fight. It's just more like two people getting out their own hate lists to each other. Because there are definitely, I think this woman in the message, she was like, I feel like I can't be proud to be a stay-at-home mom because he hates his job. And I was like, see, that's cause and effect. And We talked for, a couple minutes. It was honestly not very much. I didn't get very much context, so I'm making assumptions about this. And this is why I want to do a show, by the way, so that we can add more context to these like new, very nuanced things. But in the point being that you feel like you can't embrace your hate for things because you feel like you have things to be good all the time. You've been bypassed so much where you're like, oh, well, things could be worse. Or, you've been rescued, like, oh, here's the solution to that, instead of the discomfort of holding space for all of it. The reason that bend matters and is so effective is because it's a boundaried way of communicating. It's boundaries. It's literally boundaries. It's not saying, I feel that you are this and this. It's like, no, I feel guilty. Here's the behavior. You've been thinking about your job and how much you hate it. I feel the emotion. I feel guilty. I need reassurance that I'm doing okay because I really want to keep doing this. So, and you're doing that in yourself, your self compassion, validating yourself, because maybe it's not the right time to say that. It might be the right time to say that if you've never said it. Like, hey, when you say that, I feel a certain way. Is that what you mean by that? Is that what your intentions are? Are you needing to vent? What do you need from me? Because when you say this, I'm having this whole internal experience that I'm not sure you're aware of. And I'm not sharing it with you, to manipulate you and to make you not say anything. Can both things exist at the same time? And what do you need, babe? What do you need? I'm here for you. I support you. I can't imagine what that's like. you know but the idea with marriage is like it's a partnership. If both people are like have to actively be choosing things instead of just falling into things and then becoming resentful. So, and this happens, like, right, like it's life, kids, things go so fast when you're dissociated and on autopilot. Yeah, things don't really go fast when you're in the moment. I mean, they do and they don't, but I think people regret, I wish I'd slowed down. You hear that so much. It's like, yeah, because you were dissociated, just trying to survive the day instead of being with what you're feeling and like letting it all exist at the same time. I did this story the other day about a hate list, actually, about a video I did on a hate list, about a hate list. I, oh, it was a tapping video. I'm in an orange shirt if you want to go look at it. I'm in an orange shirt and I talk about tapping and using a hate list. And I'm like, I use some of my own examples. I was like, I hate my body today. I feel like I'm just flubbing around everything. And I'm like, oh, this is why moms love like leggings and like fitted pants, because then it's all like in. But I was like, I hate that. I just was like mad that morning. I was like, I hate because I want to go on a walk, but it's too hot. Anyway, I ended up going on a walk. Yeah, because I just like let it exist and I went on a walk hating the heat. You know, I wasn't like, okay, I have to really enjoy this before I go. I have to be this positive person before I go. So, a hate list, let me back up because the point of it is to give you direction on how to solve your problems. The point is not to permanently hate one thing. The point is name it to tame it. The point is naming what you're actually feeling to tame what you're actually feeling and help you make decisions that are based in what you're feeling and your what you really want. Like, I really wanted to go on a walk and it's so hot. And I was like, okay, if it's so hot, but I want to go on a walk, what do I need? Okay. Oh, let me go at this time and I'll plan for a cool shower right after. Like, oh, let me just can I bring a water bottle? No, I hate to like lugging something around. Ooh, let me have some gum. Gum makes my throat feel like more, I don't know, lubricated and moist are not good words. But you know what I'm saying? So, like, the point of a hate list is to problem solve. It's to kind of like go from macro to micro about your issues so that you can do things that are easier and better, more fun, and you can actually do things that you want to do that are in line with your goals or like feeling good. And so that's the point of a hate list is to just literally get it all out of your system. And there's neuroscience there that's like, you are hating things like your body, you have anxiety all the time. You're hating things that you're doing. You are depressed. You're binge eating all the time. You can't get up from the couch when you sit down. Like you're yelling at your kids all the time. There are things that you are hating. Your body is trying to be like, hello, bitch, pay attention to me. That's our body's communication is these bad behavior or like these unwanted behaviors. And so a hate list is the point of it is just to get it out. Something is happening that you don't like. And the point of the hate list is to like problem solve and like, so you can have a hate list every day. And if some of the same issues come up, then it's like, oh, there's something more here that I'm not getting. And there's something to be curious about, you know? So a hate list is like literally magic. When you pair that with tapping, one, you will have an emotional release. And if you're not familiar with tapping, like I have some tapping videos on my Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Um, but it's just kind of how to actually feel your feelings in a somatic way. And it's just crossing your arms and like butterfly tapping. That's all it is. But so yeah, that's what a hate list is. It's like writing down all the categories of like what you're hating right now. And like that's the first step to creating movement in it, you know? Someone, this is the last thing I'll kind of say about it today, but someone messaged me the other day and they were like, if you're religious, like, so most religions say that hate isn't good. So, like, how, if you're religious, how do you do this hate list? Like, is there a way they can coexist? And I just actually made a video about one part of this, but the other thing to understand about this hate list, one, before I directly answer that question, is that I want you to think in parts. Like, I hate part of this. I hate, like, the part about being hot outside and I wanted to go on a walk. The part that I hate about it is the part of like being sweaty and just hot in my body afterwards. The part that I hate is like my shorts sticking to my legs, you know? So there's parts of it that I hate. It's not the whole thing. And that's how you get to the gray area of things is you think in parts. Shit. I should have added this to my guide. Updated version coming soon. Oh, also, if you do buy a guide, you'll get all updated versions free. I do need to add to this because there is this thinking aspect of it that is necessary. It's what parts of this do I hate? So, like, I hate my husband. Okay, do you hate all parts of him? Every single thing. And people are, always like, no, I mean, no, duh. And I'm like, okay, what part of it do you hate? What part of it is what you hate? This defensiveness thing. And this is what keeps people in abusive situations, that it's an all or nothing thing. Like, I love him or I hate him. And this is a very normal way of thinking, black or white. Kids grow up thinking this way. It's healthy because it's their brain kind of containing the world. It helps them organize things. But when you don't acknowledge your emotions are the way to get color. Your emotions are the way to parts of things. Like, do you hate your husband all of the time? The minute you wake up from the minute you go to bed, when he texts you, when you hear his voice, like you hate everything, So it's like, what parts of it? And that's the place where you can have movement. So going back to the religious piece, I think people in religion, I mean, this is people in anything, it's not just religion. But it's not the religion itself that's the issue. It's the black or white thinking about religion. So even the question of like most religions say that hate is a bad thing. That's such a vague, huge statement where I'm like, first of all, what religion? Like, and I'm not trying to be antagonistic about it, that I'm asking questions, not questions. I'm trying to help this person, process their question and get to an answer that feels good. But so it's like, okay, what religion specifically? Okay, does that religion have a text, like a religious text, the Bible, the Quran? Okay. What does it specifically say about it? Because a lot of times people's understanding of the text is based in their own experience. And so to look at the text from a different point of view can bring new meaning to it. And people get stuck with religion because they deny the kind of undercurrent personal part of it. I think sometimes is this is a video I just did where it's like turn the other cheek. Like that can only mean one thing as opposed to someone in who grew up in a religious context, like when they were getting bullied at school, they came home and asked their parents what they should do, and their parents said turn the other cheek. So to them, and then they shrugged and walked off. So parents, the kid internalized, oh, like be passive. So I want people to understand that like their understanding and the meaning that they make from Bible verses, for example, is based in their experience. And so it's not the religion itself, but it's like the rigidity, the inflexibility, the inflexible, fixed thinking about certain and feeling about certain things that can inhibit growth or movement or change. And so back to the question of like, how do you respond um, when religions say not to hate? I actually was messaging with my assistant. She like does research for me too. And she was saying, she told me she's done like a lot of research on this in general. And she said that um in Christianity specifically, there's like a couple Bible verses about this, and they say to hate things but never people or something. Like she broke it down where it was like, oh, if you really are curious about the religious ideology about it, like go back to the text and read it. That's beyond my scope. That's what I say. My faith in religion is marriage and family. I mean, like not literally, but honestly, like my faith in religion is protection of children and connect and helping children be the best versions of themselves and healthy and secure and connected. That's my religion, is making sure kids are that way. And marriage and family is that way. And that's why I talk about marriage. That's why I talk about parenting. That's why it's all on the parent, like it really is. And the relationship they create with the kid. That's my religion. Beyond that, when it comes to like specific religions, Christianity, Islam, whatever, that's beyond my scope. I'm not a biblical counselor. I'm not a spiritual advisor. I approach things agnostically in this space online and in the therapy space when people have religion or are religious. Like I am not, that's beyond my scope. When I have talked about religion, and this is my fault because I do talk about it mainly from like a religious trauma type of way. It's not religion, it's like spiritual abuse. That's the issue. It's when your parents abandon you in that moment instead of helping you in a real way when you needed help with the bully at school. Like that's the harm, that's the spiritual abuse. Is they're like using a spiritual concept to just abandon their role as a parent in that situation. So that's where I get tripped up. And I don't know if bias is the word, but I've had so many experiences with clients where that's been the case where like it's again not their religion. I mean, but it is. There are parts of the religion that are so like non-restorative, like that are, and even in the world, it's been being used to hate so much. It's just hard. So all of this to say is that it's just a really tough thing. I think some beautiful parts of religion are truth and relationship and love and compassion. Like there are so many beautiful parts of it. But again, I think that's a reflection of the people in it. I really do. I think it's a reflection of the people in it that see things that way. And I think that with anything, It's your emotional maturity, your ability to think through complex things, your ability to hold different truths at the same time, your ability to separate yourself from the role that you play, your ability to separate your own experience from someone else's experience. That's what makes religion a really beautiful thing is when you're a beautiful person underneath it. 'Cause that's just true. That's just true. So going back to a hate list, it's writing down everything you hate in a problem solving way because you know that you're not meant to hate things. Like you're meant to be connected and that there's part of things that you're going to hate and that points you to that should point you to solutions like compassion, validation, and solutions. So yeah, that's what the hate list is all about. It's a very refreshing tool. And the irony of it is that you will be more grateful than you could ever imagine. When you embrace your wholeness and embrace your hate, embrace your hate of things, you will be more grateful for things because it's all allowed. It's all allowed. So that's what it is and do this. I mean, do this every day. You should do it as long as you have this unwanted behavior. So that's what a hate list is about. You can read more about it in my Ben guide. Like I said, with all the links and everything. Um, this was so much. I love this thing. I think it's a genius invention, the hate list. I gotta say, props to me. But the last thing I'll say today, other than like find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, is I have another link in my bio that is if you have a great had or have a great therapist, I want to put them on my referral network. I'm looking to build a list of therapists that are like client referred because I get so many requests for therapists like me that are trained like me or believe some of the same stuff. And I think it's more about the relationship. And so if when clients tell me that they've had a great experience, that tells me that a client or a therapist is competent, one, but they also have the relational skills that make up 80% of positive client outcomes. So if you have a therapist you love, there's a form in my bio for you to put their information. I'm going to reach out to them and ask them if they want to be on this. It's free. I get nothing from this. If anything, they'll get clients from this. But ultimately, I'm just looking to set people up with the right resources, and you can help with that. And it's, like I said, free. So I'm going to always do free when I can, when it makes sense. So, thanks guys for listening, and I hope you have a great week. Hate, hate, hate.